The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
It's Grammy time. What's up there, Kipper Dog? I was listening to Need to Know as we wagged the dog.
Yep. Always a distraction. Always try to get you to think in different ways. So don't fall for it. It's a movie, but it's still in play right now.
You're right. And there's only a couple things that I think you could be more passionate about, and that is music. I think you're very passionate about your music. And of course, you're very passionate about your boys, about your family, which I absolutely love. So I thought today, since we had the 61st Grammys last night.
Really?
We go, 61st Grammys last night.
Damn, I missed it.
I missed it.
I think
too.
I was watching reruns of The Big Bang Theory.
You know what? Actually, I think I was too. I think I was, no, American Pickers was on last night. Yeah. American Pickers runs for like 24 straight hours. I think I fell asleep listening to that.
Yeah.
I want to tune in. By the way, if you get an opportunity, and it's all over social media today, go look what Heidi Klum wore on the red carpet. I get a chance to meet Heidi Klum, 1994, 95 at the Grammys out in LA. She came by my booth, and I think I talked about this. Meatloaf was there, Dan Aykroyd was there, and they were going one by one.
Oh, yeah.
They were stopping by my booth, and she stopped by my booth, and she stayed for 3 segments, and they said, Heidi, you gotta move. And I mean, she is so incredibly flirty, bodacious, beautiful, fun. She actually makes you think you have a shot. I don't know how else to put it, but she makes you think you have a shot. And so I'm sitting there talking to her for 45 minutes, and I was like, I'm going to ask her for a phone number. I'm going to ask her for her damn phone number. And having heard her laugh at the people, but I knew I hit her off because she was there for 3 seconds. Anyway, she came and gave me a hug, and she's 6'1", 6'2".
Wow.
And to hug a woman, and she had heels on, so we were eye to eye, and I hugged her, and she goes, "Oh, do you know how good it feels to hug a man that's my size?" And I said, "Do you know how good it is to hug you? Period. I don't care if she could be 4'11". It's still Heidi Klum." But what she said to me, she whispered in my ear, she goes, "Isn't it great when you hug somebody and you can feel everything?"
Oh, geez.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I was like, oh yeah. And I said, yeah. And she gave me a hug and walked off. And I mean, from that point on, I was flustered. I was done, but I'll never forget. And I got an autograph for her she was on Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit issue that year. And I got an autograph. I'll never forget what she whispered. "Isn't it great when you hug somebody and you can feel everything?" And I was
oh my gosh.
Go watch the video of her last night. You'll understand what she's talking about.
How old is she now?
She's that's a great question. Let me look.
I have no reference of time.
She's gotta be in her 50s.
I was gonna say 40. Oh, I was gonna say 45 at least.
She's 52.
52. Wow.
Yeah, she's born June 1st, 1973.
And still looking pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, there's only so much you can do with your body. I don't know how she got her ass to look the way it did last night. She's wearing a see-through dress. She'll put it out there, but it's quite incredible for 52. I mean, my ass will never look like that again. Not to say that it ever did, but yeah. So, all right. So I want to throw some things out. It's called the Grammy. Do you know why it's called the Grammy, or you know what it's called first?
I don't know why it's called the Grammys. I've never thought
that this guy named Thomas Edison, he created the phonograph. So the phonograph turned into the gramophone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So whenever we used to go to Kip's house, we'd listen to the gramophone. Then it later turned into the record player, and then turned into
stereo,
turned into a turntable. Yeah. And then we call it a turntable. So that's where the word Grammys came from the gramophone, which is the original. The first original Grammy started in 1959. It should tell you just how important television is. They didn't broadcast the first Grammys till 1971.
Wow.
It was 13 years before they said, we may have something here. This may be something that people actually want to watch on television. So 1971 was the first one. There have been 3 presidents who have won Grammys. Can you name them?
Oh, gosh.
Think of spoken word.
Yeah, well, of course. I imagine John F. Kennedy was one.
He was not.
Oh, okay. Well, I've drawn a blank. I can't imagine who.
Let's go, Jimmy Carter.
For what?
He won. Let's see here. You're gonna make me look it up. Hold on.
I can't imagine. He wasn't much of an orator.
Jimmy Carter. Actually, I think he won one recently. Jimmy Carter Grammy. Jimmy Carter. He's won 4 Grammys. He's been nominated.
Wow.
He's been nominated 10 times. He won the 67th annual Grammy Award winner. And I just said it was a 61st.
For what category? What's his category?
Best audiobook, narration, and storytelling recording.
Oh, okay. I didn't know audiobooks could win Grammys.
Yeah.
I listened to a great audiobook recently, so that's my favorite genre right now.
Yeah, something called Last Sundays in the Plains. He won something for called Last Sundays in Plains.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, I said it was a 61st Grammys. It was not the 61st. What year was this? Is great radio.
If it started in 59, so that's top of the century, been 41 years. So 61st.
Okay, so 68th. So he won that Grammy last year.
Okay. Wow.
So, that's pretty amazing. Bill Clinton also won a Grammy, and Barack Obama won.
I didn't know like audiobooks could be considered a Grammy. That's interesting.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
I'll recommend real quick. I listened to, and it's 11 hours, so you got to put a lot of time into it. Yeah. But I listened to the book the last chapters last night, but Ask Not is what it's called. The Kennedy Men and the Women They Destroyed. And wow. What a book.
What was it called again?
Ask Not. Just like Kennedy's
but
what's
the rest of the title?
The Kennedy Men and the Women They Destroyed. And just how callous they were of just, unbelievable. The whole Kennedy thing, if you list that book, your perception of all of it be so totally different. And the women were not innocent in a lot of these, because so many of the stories, these are women that just would go to any measure, any means to become a Kennedy. Yep. They were desperate, and once they achieved that, it didn't go well for very many of them.
And the thing is, too, is it's irrefutable. When you see a Kennedy, you've seen a Kennedy. It's just amazing how different and how. Even the one that's in the office right now for the health crap we're doing. What's his name? Robert F. It's just amazing. When you see a Kennedy, it's a Kennedy. Yeah. I used to live down the street from a young lady. I'm not going to say her name. But she was related to the Kennedys, and she had some memorabilia hanging around her house. That's the only way I knew. But I think she's maybe second or third down the line from the Kennedys. And so she used to tell me some great stories about the Kennedys and how it's and the money line for the Kennedys is about as deep as a coal mine in Pennsylvania. And everyone in the Kennedys gets it. It goes, if you're a Kennedy, you're getting something from the Kennedys. It's
Absolutely
amazing. It's amazing. It doesn't matter how far down the line you are. If you're a Kennedy, you're pretty much well off. You're good shape. Where else am I going to go here? Can you name, there's been 3 artists who have won. We always talk about in sports how hard it is to win back-to-back championships.
Yep.
The Philadelphia Eagles will not get it done this year, but 3 artists who have won best record of the year in back-to-back years. Do you want to take a step? I'll tell you, Billie Eilish has won. She just did that recently.
Okay.
And the other two, and I will say U2 is the other one. And then the other one is a young lady from the 70s. And it was actually the first 2 years the Grammys were on television, which really makes it even more incredible.
Early 70s female Diana Ross?
No, you're close. She wrote a song called Killing Me Softly.
Oh, Roberta Flack.
The first time I ever saw your face. Those were the 2 albums she won. Roberta Flack won the first back to it. And that's something pretty incredible. And also Billie Eilish did something else that was a record that was just broken a couple of years ago when she did it. But this artist was the first and held the record for 37 years to win Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist of the Year all in the same year. It was his first Grammys. Do you know who it was?
What year was this?
76, 77.
No, I'm drawing a blank.
You would have never thought Christopher Cross.
Oh, really?
Sailing Away was his big song.
Yeah. If you get lost between the moon and New York City.
Yeah, sure. He was up there for Arthur's song, but he was best new artist. And of course, he came out with some other albums after that. Think of Laura, I think was a couple of them. But yeah, he came out guns a-blazing, man. For his first year to win those 4 Grammys was like it had never been done before.
Unbelievable.
They call that the Big Four, which is pretty crazy. And just because I know you're going to ask, you're going to go, what's the difference between album of the year and record of the year?
Yeah.
Album of the year. So I did some research. Album of the year is the entire album. It must have at least 5 cuts on it. It can't be an EP. Record of the year is an actual single. So that's the record of the year. Now you're going to say, oh, wait a minute.
So that probably goes back to the original, if you start in the 50s, because that's what you used to just get a record with a song on each side.
And now you're going to ask me the question, okay, Tone, then what's the difference between record of the year and song of the year?
Oh, yeah, right? I'm going to ask that question. Tone, what's the difference between record of the year and song of the year?
Well, the record is the single of the year. The song is for the songwriter only. So if you have written the song of the year, you get your own Grammy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you'll see a lot of people.
As it should be. I like that.
Absolutely. So the songwriter gets their Grammy. And then, of course, the person who sings it, they don't actually get a Grammy for it, but they get to go up there and stand next to you. But if you wrote the song, and you'd be surprised, like you're a huge Jackson Browne fan. Jackson Browne, as far as I know, wrote almost everything he ever sang.
Just about.
And I'm sure like Michael McDonald, these great songwriters, just because Paul McCartney sang other people's music. I mean, he redid people's music, but for the most part, you think to yourself, man, if you can write your own stuff and sing other people's music, that's great. But there are some artists like, say, Heart, America was big. A lot of people say America is not in the Hall of Fame because they never wrote any of their own music.
Yep.
But people had songs go, wow, America would sound really good playing this song. So we'll give it to America. And that's why they were so good. But yeah, Christopher Cross got that bad boy, which I thought was crazy. All right. The oldest person to ever win a Grammy.
The oldest person to ever win a Grammy. I'm not doing very good on this test.
It's all right. And I know you're going to ask me who the youngest is, so I'm going to pull that up too because I should have had that. That would be a guy named Pine Top Perkins.
Geez, that's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, who was 97, and then the earliest was actually this year. Aura the Fifth, Aura the Fifth. She is 8 years old. She won Best Children's Music Album for Harmony alongside with her father. How about that?
Okay, Aura the Fifth.
The Fifth.
And Pine Tree Perkins.
Pine Tree Perkins was 97. Yes, remember that because I'll quiz you on this next. I'll quiz you on this next year.
I've never heard him come up in my music rotation.
Who was the first female to ever win Album of the Year? I mean, Album of the Year is the big Grammy. That's the big one. That's Picture of the Year. That's the big one. What year and who was the first female to win that Grammy?
I'll say Carly Simon.
I like that. Actually, it was a little earlier before that. It was 1962.
Okay.
Somewhere over there.
Oh, Judy Garland.
Yes, Judy Garland won the Album of the Year in 1962. That was
no
the first
kidding.
time.
See, I don't think of that as an album, but it, obviously, of course, it's associated with Wizard of Oz. But that's interesting.
Isn't that crazy? I did pull up some Jackson Browne because I know how much you love Jackson Browne. Jackson Browne has been nominated 8 times. Can you name how many Grammys he's won?
Probably 0.
He has won 0. As a matter of fact, do you know what the highest? I've been doing a lot of research this morning, so I listen. You do your need to know thing. I'm ready to go on Keefer and Kurre. I do my homework, bro. I was up last night looking at this stuff, and I just love looking up numbers and stuff like that. But do you know what his highest rated or highest Billboard song ever was?
Probably Somebody's Baby, is a song he doesn't like to sing now.
No, he does not. It went to number 7. Dr. My Eyes was next at number 8.
That's really sad.
And he only had one number 1 album. That went to number 1 in the Billboard charts. And when I saw this, I thought the first thing I did was because I used to have it and I don't know where it's at. And I wish like hell I still had it because it probably still has promotional issued only because I used to steal all the albums from work. You know, we get 3 albums. We get one for airplay, and then we get one if there was a skip, and then we get one for the music director. And so we had 3, so I just pick 5 or 6 of those bad boys, stick in my arm, and walk out the store. And all my records had promotional value only. You're not supposed to resell them, but some people like to have those. But can you name his only number 1 album?
His best album ever was The Pretender, but that was what I would guess.
How about Hold Out?
No way.
Yeah, Hold Out wasn't that a great album? Hold Out. I mean, I saw that and I was like, I totally forgot that album. That album is, I got goosebumps the size of my head on my arms right now. I'm not kidding you. That is one of the greatest, if you're into a dope smoking, laid back, chilling album of all time. And it's so deep, and the lyrics are so fantastic. You know lyrics from that album, do you not?
Oh yeah, of course.
Give me one, go.
Hold on, hold out, keep a hold on strong. The bets are down. Let's see. You won't hold out long. You know,
that's a great song, man. Oh, isn't that crazy? But that was the only.
They say you'll fall in no time at all. Make them wrong. You've got to be something more. Keep your hold on still. You know what it is you're waiting for.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, it's I mean, that is like, and that thing's like what, 6 minutes long? Isn't it like a really long song?
Yeah. Well, most of the cuts on that album are, and yeah. I would never in a million years guess that had to be one of the things that he was just at the height of his popularity at the time, because I personally think he's got 3 or 4 albums far superior to that one. So that actually shocks me as a Jackson Browne fan, because The Pretender was just an unbelievable album. Late for the Sky was that's got like 5 or 6 just superior songs on it. And then coming back later on in his career with the I'm Alive album after the Daryl Hannah breakup, that was to me the pinnacle of Jackson Browne.
So he had Hold Out 1980. It was number 1. Running on Empty. That was not part of the.
Which I should that's another one to guess. Yeah,
that went to number 3 in 1977. The Pretender was number 5. Lawyers in Love, which I remember playing. That was kind of different. I remember when that single came out, Lawyers in Love, and I thought that didn't sound like Jackson Browne to me. It was a little different. Then Lives in the Balance. I'm Alive, and then Standing in the Breach. And then he had one called Downhill from Everywhere that went to 86 in 2021. That's pretty amazing stuff. All right, 1966. Paul McCartney was nominated 9 times for his work on the album Help and also the single Yesterday. How many Grammys did Paul win that year in 1966 for that album and for that song?
It's hard to say. 1.
Kip, he was 0 for 9.
Oh, for 9.
Not one Grammy. The Beatles certainly have won their share of Grammys, but not one Grammy for Paul McCartney. Think about that.
Shut out, Paul. Huh?
Think about that right now. That was 60 years ago. Think about the Beatles and Paul McCartney. And I was listening to, I heard a song the other night. It was so crazy. And I wanted to share this with you. I was listening to the 80s at 8 with Alan Hunter, and they had a deep cut. And usually when they play deep cuts, I mean, it's not really a deep cut to me, but he played a song called So Bad. That was from Pieces of Pipe that came out in the 80s. And it was a song that he wrote. I Love You So Bad. He was sitting there at the piano with his wife, Linda, at the time he was alive in 1984. And his daughter came up to the piano and she started pedaling with the things, and all of a sudden it came to him and he started singing, I love you so bad. And then his son came up, and so he had to change the words, I love you, to boy, I love you. And then wrote that song like in 5 minutes and ended up going to like number 20. But it was so weird because I hadn't heard that song since my high school days. I remember playing that song on my high school radio station in 1984, and I hadn't heard that song in 42 years.
I'm not real familiar with that.
And then the next day, I heard it again when they were doing the top cuts of 1984. And I heard that song twice in 24 hours. It was kind of crazy. 0 for 9. How many Grammys did Elvis Presley win, and what were they for?
I'm gonna guess he won a couple of, let's say 2 or 3, but it's probably for his spiritual, his religious stuff.
You are so damn good. He won 2 Grammys for best inspirational performance.
Yep.
Didn't win for record of the year. Now the Grammys didn't start till 59, so he was. I mean, Hound Dog and all that stuff was what, early mid? No, it was mid late 50s. Early 60s. When was Jailhouse Rock? That was 90 or 60.
I'd say early 60s, maybe 63 or 4.
Yeah, and he also won the Bing Crosby Lifetime Achievement Award, which makes sense, but that's hard to believe that the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. And by the way, if you ever get a chance, this is a bucket list that I want to do with you, only because I know you'll appreciate it, but I want to take you to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, in 1 year, it's 5 stories, and the top part, it's built like a pyramid. The top part is the one that's the special thing. 1 year was John Lennon exhibit, and then 1 year it was the Elvis Presley exhibit, and they had the toilet that he was sitting on when he passed away. They had the TV that he shot in the Jungle Room. It was flipping amazing. The John Lennon thing was they had the glasses that he was wearing when he was shot outside New York in 1980. But it was just it's incredible. You would just, and you could spend like 4 days in the place and not see the same thing twice. So it was really, really cool. What else? We mentioned Bad Bunny, and I that's one of the reasons I brought this up. But last night was the first ever Spanish language album of the year.
Oh, nice.
That was the first. It was a brand new category, and Bad Bunny won that bad boy. Congratulations to Bad Bunny.
Way to go, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny's got that bad boy. And then I wanted to throw out some artists that have never won a Grammy. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 artists here that go all the way back to the 70s. I want to see if you could just name some artists that perhaps you would think that maybe have won a Grammy but never had.
Oh boy. Frank Sinatra?
Frank Sinatra won.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great question.
Frank Sinatra wasn't a man. He was the man.
Yeah, he really was.
He was indicative of those times. So
man,
I'm glad Frank won. How about Dean Martin?
Hold on. How many Grammys did Sinatra win? Now you're going to make, I'm going to be up all day.
Yep.
Looking this shit up. You're going to drive me crazy. Frank Sinatra won 10.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, that's good. How many did Dean Martin win? How many did Dean Martin? Grammys. This is great. Great radio here, folks. Dean Martin won. Dean Martin never won a competitive Grammy during his lifetime.
Okay, well, he's probably not on your list, but
he received only 1 nomination in 1960. He only received 1 nomination.
Wow. I guess Dean was more considered an actor and comedian than a singer, but he had a lot of big hits.
Do you know what that single was that he got nominated for?
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
Everybody loves somebody. That's it.
Sometimes.
Right? So, did Dean Martin win an Oscar? Did he win an Oscar?
I don't think so.
No, Dean Martin never won an Academy Award. That's hard to believe that he never won a Grammy or an Oscar.
No,
He was a singer. That's messed up, isn't it?
And
let's go. You mentioned earlier Diana Ross never won a Grammy.
No kidding.
Not hard to believe.
How is that possible?
She did with the Supremes, but man, you can make an argument that her career was bigger solo than it was with the Supremes. Sorry, it was. She Inside Out. She had some huge songs, man. Some huge songs in the 70s, 80s.
Iconic. How about Marvin Gaye? Is he on the list?
Marvin Gaye actually did. Oh, so you're going to drive me crazy. Marvin Gaye. Yeah, he did. Unless it wasn't on this list. Marvin Gaye, Grammys. This is, I could do this all day long. Marvin Gaye, won 2 Grammys.
Okay, good for him.
And he won. He won for Sexual Healing.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah. He won one in 1983, and his other one was 1996 for the Lifetime Achievement Award. That's amazing that he only won one for Sexual Healing. Of all the songs that he wrote, from the album Midnight Love. I remember that. I remember that song coming out. Man, that was a great song. A killer song. Jimi Hendrix never won a Grammy.
Yeah, wow.
The Who.
Well, I was going to say Roger Daltrey was want to be one of my guesses.
Never won a Grammy.
The Who never won a Grammy.
The Who never won a Grammy.
Boy, that's probably the greatest concert I ever saw was The Who in Atlanta. Yeah, unbelievable.
And it was weird because back in that day, back in the 70s, classic rock was just so nasty. It was, you know what I mean? Like if you were into classic rock, man, it was like you were on the cutting edge, brother.
Yeah,
if you were right. The Who and Alice Cooper and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing the Grammys are like, the Who's not even gonna be part of the Grammy. We can't put the Who on the Grammys because it was so mainstream. But now looking back on it, hell, the Who would be in there. Bob Marley never won a Grammy.
Oh man.
Katy Perry's never won a Grammy. That's really hard to believe. Snoop Dogg's never won a Grammy.
Shocking. He's gotten into everything else.
Yeah.
Snoop's the greatest marketer. He needs to win the marketing man of the year.
Dude, that guy was such a scumbag.
Oh,
like 10 years ago.
He's done so many deplorable things. It's unbelievable.
I mean, he really has. I mean,
he hosted 2 different shows on the Playboy channel.
It's like, I mean, this guy has done some really nasty stuff. And now he's so mainstream.
He's selling everything.
My daughter's like, I want to see Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, okay. Like, sure. Beach Boys.
Never won a Grammy?
Yeah. And Queen never won a Grammy.
That's shocking too.
That's kind of hard to believe. Yeah, my daughter comes up to me this morning and she says, hey, Dad, and I don't know why she really brought it up because she usually doesn't bring up anything she's going to do with her mom. She says, but I asked Mom if I could go to the Bruno Mars concert in Nashville. And I said, oh. And she's like, yeah, as long as I can go with you. And she asked if I could bring a friend. And I said, sure. And first thing I thought, I was like, how in the hell is she going to afford Bruno Mars tickets? I know we're going back to court. How the hell are you going to Bruno Mars? Anyway, so then she decided to bring another friend of hers. And then it turned into going to a Bruno Mars concert. And she said, well, how about we just get a nice hotel room and we go on a shopping spree instead of blow Bruno off. Huh? And of course, my daughter was like, hell yeah. And I'm like, well, you played that very well, honey. I said, nice play. And she's like, thank you very much. I said, that was good. So you got yourself a shopping spree because Bruno Mars tickets are probably going to run you $300-400. One of the most incredible singers I've ever seen. Oh,
interesting.
All right, my man. That's all I got. You got anything you want to add to Grammys?
No, I don't know. I'm so award show weary. I can't watch any of them, Tony. I don't want to hear people get up and make their stupid. When
was the last time you saw an award show? Seriously, when was the last time? Like, and you really wanted to watch? I mean, the Oscars are always, even the Oscars, I don't even care about the Oscars anymore because they usually pick these movies, but at least they're kind of going more mainstream.
Yeah. Back in the day, I'd watch the Grammys and the Emmys and the Oscars because, every acceptance speech wasn't a political diatribe. True. And I don't care what a singer thinks about politics. I don't care what they think about the president of the world or, whatever their cause is. Accept your award graciously. Thank you very much. It's been a great, achievement. So many people to thank and get on with it. I don't want to watch these self-indulgent people that think they're, this is a excuse to have a platform to spew whatever they want to talk about. Mm-hmm. I'm just not into that at all.
I hear you, brother.
And there's so many of them, many of these shows now.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's and I mean, it's like, I will tell you this, and I think they do, the VMAs are always outdo everything because it's always off the top. It's either two women making out or Howard Stern coming out with his ass hanging out a sling or something. I mean, it's, you're always going to see something and it looks like it's made for the crowd. I don't know how they keep their crowd together. And I guess they just give out a ton of mollies before they start the show and just let it rip. But it's always, you're always going to see something on the VMAs that you will not see on terrestrial television. You just won't do it. All right, great stuff, my man. We'll get together and do it again next week right here. Need to Know and Keefer and Kurre right here on Tony Curry Radio, one of our most listened to shows because we're just two old guys and Love talking about stuff, even the Grammys. I appreciate you, my man. The 68th Grammys last night.
I appreciate being enlightened of what I missed last night. Gosh, I'm kicking. I'll be kicking myself all day that Bad Bunny was duly honored and I didn't see it.
Do yourself a favor and go pull up Heidi Klum red carpet and do that.
Okay.
And I promise it'll make your day, my friend.
I'm a lot bigger candidate to do that than to relive Bad Bunny's triumphant moment.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.